Hi, if you are new here, I'm Kaniti, and if you're already watching this channel, welcome back. Today we are going to read the newest chapter of One Piece, number 1086. So let's see what this chapter has. Spoiler alert if you're not up to date with manga, and let's go. Okay, so first we have, a color spread. Oh, it's so pretty. It's in the rain. Oh, this makes me so happy. Today was such a hot day. It's getting better now, I think. But it's so comfortable looking at the rainy picture now after having to go outside on such a hot day. It's so pretty. Oh, I love Nami so much in this yellow raincoat. Robin also has a cute blue one, and Chopper is of course adorable. There's just a random cat, I think, and the random frog also looks so cool. Wait, where is Zora? Did he get lost, or am I missing something? It looks like he's not here. Yeah, I guess Zora and Jinbei are doing something else. Oh, it's a cover quest, by the way. Chopper and the kitty crossing the reflection of a rainbow they see in a puddle. Okay, anyway, that's very cute. Let's see. But the chapter is called... It's just such a dissonance, like such a cute color spread, and then like super serious chapter. The fallout from Reverie. Oh, by the way, it's called The Five Elder Planets. Oh my god, this is picking up. And so the curtains drew closed on the Reverie before the news of King Cobra's murder came to light. This is Princess Viva of Arabasta. Hasn't anyone seen her? Where is the king? Has his condition worsened? All the while, a number of stowaways held their breath as they attempted to escape on various royal vessels. Oof. Meanwhile, we have our runaway couple, Vapol and Vivi. Hey, whose ship is this? The Aegis Kingdom. They're whispering to each other. We are on Aegis ship, Morgans. Wait, Vapol is talking to Morgans. Or maybe like relaying the news of what he saw. This is an interesting move. Gotcha. We'll fly our headquarters over and pretend to look for a scoop. Use the chance to hop aboard and don't get yourselves caught before then. So that's when, because we saw already Vivi with Morgans, so that's how they actually got there. I owe you one. You got that right. A king somehow became the subject of a manhunt. This is big news. I can't wait to hear all about it. So what exactly did you see in there, Vapol? Vivi asks quietly. Like I tell you, leave me alone and go back to your own ship. I can't. CP0 is no joke. Now that they are after me, it won't matter how much everyone tries to help. Those agents won't rest till I'm back in their custody. Now let me borrow your transponder, Snail. I need to talk to my father. Oh, as soon as possible. He is a total worrywart. Anything but that. Get lost already. What's wrong with you? Oh, that's so sad. At this point, she doesn't know yet about her father, that he's dead, and her entourage is also looking for her, not knowing where she has disappeared. So that, of course, is a sad situation. But that's cool that Vapol just has this contact with Morgans. So Vivi there with Morgans already. I remember that just now. I kind of forgot, but I don't really remember the scene. So did he take them in for goodness of his heart, or like in exchange for that juicy scoop that Vapol has, maybe? Now we can see people also looking for Sabo here, and here they are looking for Vivi. Yes, she is pretty. Meanwhile, we have Bonnie here, thinking this is such a cute frame. She looks so adorable here, thinking she's hungry. On Tajin's Kingdom's ship, Hutch section, and on Lulusia Kingdom's ship, this has to be Sabo. He's lying there blooded. Okay, we can see the hat also, and we can also gather from, because we know he went to Lulusia. If I can just make it to Lulusia, I know I can figure something out, he's thinking for himself. And he is lying in Bilge section. Bilge, okay. Well, somewhere inside the ship. It actually looks pretty comfortable. I'm counting on you, Sabo-kun. He remembers Cobra's words. You must live on. Oh, he's in a very bad condition also. And of course, very sad. That's not a strong enough word. Okay, you get it. It didn't take long for the two key stories to spread across the globe. The murder of King Cobra of Arabasta and the disappearance of his daughter, Princess Vivi. Yeah, and like in combination, this looks like a direct attack on their family. Like it's the same party killed... Cobra and kidnapped Vivi, so I guess it would make sense, for example, for people to assume that if Sabo murdered Cobra, like how the news are, that he also maybe kidnapped Vivi. It seems logical from a point of view of a person who doesn't know what happened there, right? The Holy Land of Marija. The man they call Sabo. Okay, so our elders are talking. And the name of the chapter was very peculiar, so I'm curious. He seems to have a checkered fate. How else can you account for him constantly being surrounded by those whose bear the letter D? I was hoping we would be able to see the egghead issue now, but it seems that dealing with this complication will have to take priority. Ring. Yes, great Emu. Okay, so Emu is calling them on the snail. And they are all gathered here listening to the call. Emu is in Pangea Castle in Flower Room. That seems to be their favorite room. And it does look very pretty with all the butterflies and flowers. Very cute. So Emu is saying the time has come to put Vegapunk's invention to the test. Use the Mother Flame. And like I already see Lulusia Kingdom written on the next panel, so I guess they are talking about the destruction that we saw already. Okay, let's read their words. It is true, we haven't had the chance to try it out before now, so there's no way to ascertain its effectiveness yet. Depending on how well this experiment goes, Egghead may reconsider its response. I think a forest area would be a more suitable testing ground than a sea-based target. Lulusia Kingdom, Emu says. So yeah, this is interesting. They call it use the Mother Flame. We have to kind of put a pin in this, but we already saw how they nuked Lulusia. We know how this Mother Flame looks. Quite a lot of people live there. That is of no consequence. Of course, Emu doesn't care about people. They can die for all they care. Understood. The world moves at the will of the creator. So they also call Emu creator. What is the reason for Lulusia's selection? One of them asks. Oh wait, that's a big page. It looks so cool. It's close proximity, Emu says. It shall be as you say, they answer. And we see a small panel of like what we saw, what happened to Lulusia. And the only reason was its close proximity? Okay, interesting. Oh, and now we have info on all of the elders here. So they are talking. And they are called 5 elder planets. So 5 elder planets. And they are all like Saturn, Mars. Now it's getting interesting. Jupiter makes sense. Valkyrie? It's more like Valkyrie. How is this connected to planets? Is there a planet like this? And Venus Jura? I guess that's Venus. Okay. Only Valkyrie is kind of confusing me. Maybe I'm missing some meaning here. Okay, so we have 5 elder planets. Defense, Science, Warrior, God. Saint J. Garcia Saturn. His name is so pretty. I think we got his name already. He's the one who was heading out on a ship, right? He says, I humbly request your patience. In the meantime, I will make necessary preparations. Then environmental warrior god, Saint Marcus Mars. Okay, says Lulusia's citizens have shown sparks of rebellion recently. Yeah, that could be one of the reasons, but it looks like Emu's actual reason was just its close proximity, so it's easier to get some tests going. Then Justice Warrior God, Saint Topman Valkyrie. We may be able to make an example out of them, he says. Finance warrior, that is such, they're like defense, environment, justice, and then finance. Okay. Warrior god. Saint Ethan Baron, Venus Juro. So his name is like Venus Juro, but the idea is here is obviously the planet Venus. He says if we could one day use this power freely. And lastly, agriculture warrior god, Saint Shepherd, Jupiter. We could instantly snuff out any protracted conflict. Okay, this is very interesting. And kind of, this makes sense. Agriculture, shepherd. Okay, obvious. Now, finance god is called Baron. Also makes sense. Justice, top man, I guess, works. And then we have environment, Mars. Well, actually, I think Mars was at first a god of like agriculture in ancient Rome, and then he became more like a warrior god, I think. But here we have like shepherd, Jupiter for agriculture. Okay, and then J. Garcia Saturn is defense science. Defense science. This is very peculiar. And they are all like saint. I think that's what ST means, right? Saint Marcus and the planets. I like the theme of cosmos, the theme of space takes on a big role in One Piece. There are a lot of space references, and they're becoming even more and more and more. So that's pretty cool. I'm sure this is like not a coincidence, so to say. This has to be important. Okay, we can talk more on this later. That was a very cool page. One more thing, of course, retrieve Vivi as you wish. So for some reason they need Vivi, maybe as an descendant is the right word, I think, of Lily. So I'm not sure like quite what the goal is here, to kill Vivi. Going back to the theory that Vivi could wield or be some kind of ancient weapon, or like use Vivi somehow. She's also connected to Straw Hats, so she could also be used as something to kind of affect Straw Hats in a way, and get rid of them also. So I guess she has a lot of uses. I'm not quite sure like what exact, but we saw Emu before looking at the photo of Vivi, so the interest was there from the start, obviously. Meanwhile, the kingdom of Tajin and the Aegis kingdom are both rebelling, and we saw that we actually were, yes, these are the ships we were running away on. So Vapol and Vivi were on the Aegis kingdom's ship, and Bonnie was on Tajin kingdom's ship, and now we see that they are both rebelling. Between the disbanding of the Seven Warlords and the uprisings in government-affiliated nations, the Navy has their hands full. However, their military power had already gone in a new direction. We see some new seraphims. So, wait, who's this one? Oh, this is definitely a crocodile one. It looks so pretty. And Doflamingo one, it's like with all the clothes and glasses, of course. Very cool. Crocodile was spotted on Empty Bluffs Island. This one in the middle, I can't quite put my finger on it. Who is this? It's like Moria? No, wait, what are your opinions? This Seraphim in the middle. I feel like I should recognize him. Okay, the second we docked at Lelucia, as a boy is saying. The people arrested King Seki and Princess Komane. They were just waiting to ambush the royals. So, just by the time they docked, okay, we saw that. We saw the these royals kind of expecting that they're going to be saved by the world government or something, but actually their island was nuked. Okay, yeah, I remember that. Since I was a stowaway, okay, so we are back to that room where Sabo is telling all of this to Dragon and Ivankov. Since I was a stowaway, they welcomed me with open arms. That's when I saw the papers and found out that they pinned King Cobra's murder on me. Unsurprisingly, the people there considered me a hero. I wanted to tell them the truth, but when I saw how that life and the flames of rebellion within them, the words died in my mouth. So maybe these people, they didn't know that Cobra was a nice person. They just saw him just as a king, right? And they thought that Sabo killing him was something positive, right? And they kind of also flamed the flames of rebellion in them. Because like, oh, he took out the king, we also can take out our royals. I guess that's what the line of thinking here. Betty and the others had already inspired a lot of them, and I ended up bringing many of those hopeful recruits back with me. And again, we see this girl that we always see like in the background. I'm quite sure she's going to be important for something. Is she also just only to represent Lulusia here? No, obviously there has to be something about her, right? I couldn't make direct contact without an encryption snail, so I rerouted my call through the island while we were setting sail. I knew the government would intercept the signal, but doing it like that was sure to fool them into thinking I was still on Lulusia. However, I was just within range, having already set out to sea with our new enlistees. Okay, so we have a little scheme here. We have Lulusia Kingdom, Sabo here on the ship, going to Kamabaka Kingdom. Yeah, he wanted to fool them, thinking he is on Lulusia, but he was always actually on the ship. So the annihilation of Lulusia really did happen during that call, Ivankov is saying. Yeah. Everyone on board was hysterical. A lot of them had family on the island. They saw their country obliterated right in front of their eyes. So there were people who were left on the island. There were a lot of people on board, but there also were families on the island. And I assume these royals that they caught were also on the island. They were also murdered. Despicable. How in the world did they do it? Dragon asks. An enormous shadow seemed to engulf the sky above us, and the next moment everything was gone. And Dragon says like an enormous shadow, like he has an idea what could this be. There's no way it was caused by a living thing or some natural disaster. Something pitch black was flying above the clouds, Sabo is saying. Huh. Sabo, earlier you said they used the name Emu. Wait, Emu said it's the weapon created by Vegapunk. It's not like it's Emu's dark nightmarish powers, right? It has to be Vegapunk's weapon they're using. Right, this may be a little out there, but when the world you know today was created 800 years ago, one of the first 20 sovereigns was Saint Emu of House Nerona. He was also called Saint, interesting, of House Nerona. So there is some new information. We already know he was one of the 20. They were one of the 20. I think it's, after all, it's a he, but it would be cool if it was a woman. But it seems like also their name is kind of in line with our elders here. Elder planets, also Saint. Nerona. Okay, now look at this. Since you know an ability granting eternal use is said to exist, that must mean someone has used it before. So Emu obviously has eternal use, which means there is a person out there that doesn't need to worry about death. So you think the one I saw is... It could be a coincidence. Maybe they just share the name, but could anyone else but the founder command the 5 elder planets, the highest of world nobles? The celestial dragons fancy themselves as the descendants of the god, after all. One more thing, assuming the object you saw above the clouds was a weapon made by the government, then the only one capable of creating such a thing would be Vegapunk. Okay, yeah, we know that. Hold it, Eva. Vegapunk would never intentionally design a dedicated killing machine. I know. So what if it was an ancient weapon? Assuming Nimue has been living since ancient times, there is a connection. Robin, but he said that it is Vegapunk's new creation, though. Robin told us that the ancient weapons do in fact exist, but if this person had such a weapon, why wait till now to use it? Dragon asks. But we were told that it is a new weapon created by Vegapunk, and that they just need to test it out. But could this be that they actually had the ancient weapon and Vegapunk just like fixed it or something? Or like created an ancient weapon? Well, he wouldn't create something without knowing what it does. He's not stupid. If he's working on something, he knows what it is and what it does. So, and he also said like he knows too much. I think maybe him knowing that he worked on this. He created or kind of helped make this or fix it, and now they want to get rid of him because of this. Also, he knows too much, like this kind of connection as well. Present day, the Holy Land of Marijoy. Celestial Dragon has just been sentenced to death. Our food supply is gone. We have no bread. All we have is cake. Well, not bad. I'll take that. However, this information will never be reported to the outside world. The judge was the former king of the land known as God Valley, I think the right word. He currently serves as the supreme commander of God's knights. His name is Saint, Figureland Garling. I guess all of the important guys are saints. Also, he has an interesting design. I don't think we saw him before. This is like a crescent moon made out of his hair and facial hair. It looks actually super cool. I like it. A man who can even judge the celestial dragons. The man he sentenced to execution, none other than the one who chose to defend fishermen, Saint Don Quixote Miosgard. Of course, like, the one who is a normal, decent person is the one being sentenced to death. So is he going to just die? Like, nobody can stop them. Anyone who protects scum is lower than the scum they protect, this man says. Break for 5 weeks. Okay. So there is a lot of information in this chapter. I feel even a bit overwhelmed. So, of course, we know Miosgard, this is horrible, and if he is actually going to be murdered, like one of the very few decent celestial dragons, and he's been sentenced for defending fishmen, this is horrible. And the judge, the former king of God Valley, Figureland Garling, very interesting. Okay, and also... to our readers, thank you for reading One Piece. To accommodate Oda Sensei's upcoming eye surgery. Eye surgery sounds scary. I hope it goes well. One Piece will be taking a break, so for 5 weeks. We are sorry for the delay. Thank you for understanding. Okay. This is very... Hey, sorry about this. I'll be taking a 4-week break. Jump issues 29, 30, 31, and 32. I know everyone is excited to see where One Piece's final saga goes next, but I felt like I had to get this procedure out of the way. I'm gonna grant me the ability to shoot beams from my eyes. Okay, waiting for the... So this is a cute picture with Frankie. In all seriousness, I don't want to worry my readers, but I recently found myself saying, a lot of twins around these days. Before I realized it was because of my astigmatism, which has gotten pretty severe. Everything I see is blurry. Oh, so yeah, you can't really work like that if you are drawing manga. It's been interfering with my work, obviously. I've been discussing it with the chief editor since last year. How was he drawing with this? Holy shit. And he told me to just go get it done. So hopefully I'll be returning soon with improved vision and also the ability to shoot I-beams. We'll be looking forward for that. I hope you don't mind giving me a little time off, of course. Yeah, and this chapter was insane with a lot of info, so we have stuff to kind of think about, and like all the recent chapters had a lot of info. Maybe he planned it like this, like I'll draw these like super cool chapters to give people something to think about and theorize while I'm going into the surgery. First of all, yeah, I hope the surgery for Oda Sensei goes well. And what are your thoughts on this chapter? Please share them in the comments. Maybe in this time, I'll have time to think on some theories, on speculations. So also like share your theories if you have any in the comments so we can discuss them. But that would be it for today. That was a great chapter. I really enjoyed it. Thank you for watching and see ya.